Hello everybody, my name is Chris aka Sarper and I'm so happy you could join me for my vlog for Japan 2025. I'm super psyched. I never thought I would go to the Far East. Out here, guy from the suburbs in New Jersey, going all the way overseas. The furthest I've ever been on the other side of the world, 14-hour flight straight from New York. So let's go ahead and start this journey. Oh. Well, I made it to Japan safely. It was pretty cool getting here in the first place because we took a large airplane, the biggest airplane I've ever been on. Spent 14 hours on that plane watching The Mandalorian and A New Hope and playing Nintendo Switch and reading a Star Wars The High Republic book. So it was a lot less painful than I thought it would be being on a plane for that long. Then we arrived here at Haneda Airport. Took some time to just scout around, and the subway situation was very interesting, very much as a person that's in New York subways, a lot of craziness going on. The prim and proper of the Japanese workforce going in there. You could hear a pin drop in that subway. You immediately know you're in a completely different place. Very cool so far. So now it's time to go get some food. Here we go. So I'm in a random shop that's selling everything, including robot little cute guys like this. Hello. Hello, hello. Hi.
You're so cute.
Hello. Hi. I'm at Yodobashi Camera. This place does not mess around. I mean, look at this. We got rows and rows of headphones, motherboards, graphics cards, water coolers, power supplies, cases. This is basically Japan's micro center in a way. There's a whole other aisle of nothing but keyboards. Look at all these chairs. Look at all these chairs. Crazy. It's an array of chairs. Japan is really cool. So I'm here in Kyoto. I heard really good things in Japan about the convenience stores, right? 7-Eleven, and I'm specifically at Family Mart here in Kyoto, and I heard from people that getting the chicken there is some of the best chicken you'll have. This is boneless fried chicken. Here we go, a food review from Star Raptor. This does not happen often, but here we go. We're gonna try it nice and warm. And you know what? That's pretty good. I gotta admit it. You know, there's a little fat in there, but I will say that the overall, the coating here, the breading is actually really good. The breading's really good. They could use a little bit more meat, maybe, a little bit more chicken, but for something from a convenience store like that, not bad, not bad. So there you go. Wow, so we're here. I mean, this is crazy. I'm in Kyoto at a place that dates back into the 19th century. These grounds, everything feels like I just walked back in time. It took us a while to get here. We flew into Tokyo, took the Shinkansen line from there all the way to Kyoto, which is about a 2-hour ride. That was fun in itself because there was the smoothness of that train is just unbelievable. How fast it goes. Seeing Mount Fuji as you've seen in those video clips. Seeing Mount Fuji in all its majestic glory on a beautiful, sunny, 70+ degree day here. Perfect way to start off the vacation. And then going from there, being with rush hour, seeing as a person that's in New York constantly and seeing there's somehow even more volume of people in Tokyo, especially going to try to go to their trains. It was just absolute madness. We get here, we're wandering around, can't check into a hotel and say, hey, what's this place over here? Turns out it's like a 9-floor store with everything from video games to cooking to outdoor stuff to, you know, diner stuff, everything like you could imagine. It's just like the perfect culmination of the Japanese, everything you can imagine. There's like 35 different kind of scales, there's 500 different kinds of keyboards, and just absolute bonkers amount of stuff all in one place. Everything's really neat, really organized. I noticed right away there's so much help in these stores. Everybody, it seems like there's no homeless anywhere that we've seen so far, so very, very different than the United States for sure. But yes, we're going to continue walking around here and seeing some more cool stuff, so here we go. It's breakfast time. Look at all this. Looks like we're about to be stuffed again. This is the Pokemon Center in Kyoto, Japan. You'll never see more Pokemon merchandise anywhere else. This is absolutely nuts. Check this out, check this out. So cool. Wow. Walls of stuffed animals everywhere. Charmander, Pikachu, oh, the little apple guy. Oh, I like this. Oh man, nostalgia. Here we go. All these little things. All right, everybody, it's time to go platforming in real life. Here we go, Kyoto, Japan, Stepping Stone Bridge. Absolutely awesome. Look at that. Look at that view. My goodness. Day 3 here in Japan. It feels like I've been here for 2 weeks already. There's so much to do, so much experiences here. Everything from staying in the first day in a traditional inn called a ryokan, able to taste the local delicacies in a very, very awesome multi-course meal called a kaiseki, but also getting to soak in the baths. Very, very pleasant experience there. We also were able to go to a local garden, just absolutely tranquil, serene, just beautiful. The cherry blossoms, floating through the wind like a traditional, Japanese movie. I just felt like I got transported. The subways are absolutely unreal compared to what we were used to in New York City, just trash and smells terrible. Everything is so organized. Everybody here is so pleasant. It's interesting to see just the workforce here, completely dedicated. Nobody's on their phones. This is a very different kind of cultural and society than what we're used to in the United States. It feels so far flung from what I'm used to. It's just great. It's really, really cool. Just soaking in the vibes, having a coffee on the corner of some place in Kyoto and watching all the small little vehicles go by, everybody going in their everyday kind of lifestyle. It's just really cool people watching, I guess you could say. I'm over here by the second hotel. There's this little stone bridge that you could see. It's almost like platforming in like a video game going across the river. Really, really fun stuff there. And the weather's been pretty good. It rained here overnight, but I mean, it's very pleasant. It's going to be in the 70s like all week. Very much looking forward to checking out some of the more historical sites as well. Oh, by the way, Nintendo Museum, absolutely must see for any gamer. This place is just 3 hours of fun that we spent in there, from interactive experiences, going through really fun games and whatnot without spoiling it, but as well as going through and taking a journey down memory lane and seeing all the old consoles. Even the Power Glove and the Virtual Boy was represented well there. So really great stuff all around. I'm just absolutely loving it so far in this country. Look where I am, guys. Universal Studios, Japan. Okay, so I'm here in Downtonbury, Osaka. Spent 2 days here. 2 really awesome, very quick days. So much to do here in Japan. So much to do. What we did here was, first off, went to Osaka Castle. Yes, the castle from Shogun. You see it in Assassin's Creed, Shadows, a lot of other popular media. It was a sight to behold, especially at night. It was cool seeing it all lit up and just very vibrant there in the middle of this super ultra kind of modern city. It's very interesting to see these old places spread throughout the modern culture. Later after that, we ended up at a Gothic bar just on the 3rd floor of this random building. You know, pretty cool stuff there. And then we ended up just walking around, seeing some arcades. There's a place called Round One that has like 10 levels of gaming and different things. So a lot of fun stuff there. Then the next day we went to Universal Japan. Universal Japan was an incredible experience with the Super Nintendo World. Went to, you know, the new Donkey Kong Country on the minecart ride. Some of the best roller coasters I've ever been on in Universal Japan. Starting off with the Hollywood Dream roller coaster, just a really fun romp with Japanese pop music blaring in your ears as you're riding through, having a great time seeing all of Osaka from that coaster. We went on Jurassic Park the ride. We went on what is it called? The Flying Dinosaur at night. It's basically Superman from Six Flags. You're hanging underneath the track, hundreds of feet above the ground. It's pretty crazy. And the G-forces on that one are nuts. We also went on Space Fantasy, which is a spinning coaster. As you're going around, you're spinning in the darkness. It's absolutely horrifying, but also so much fun at the same time. But yeah, everything around here is super cool. This is like that cyberpunk kind of Blade Runner, dirty, kind of grungy place, right? We came from Kyoto, very proper, very traditional type of place. And you end up in here, and as you see behind me, right, this is just a lot younger people, I would say, here. Definitely different kinds of culture. I think there's, you know, people standing around on corners soliciting for boyfriends and girlfriends for the night. Very interesting kind of setup we have going on here for that sort of thing. But yeah, overall, great food as well. We had the octopus balls, tataki. We also had, you know, the different skewers as well as tempura, takoyaki. That's what it is. So we got all the things they're known for. Big stuff here on the side of the building. You have giant crabs. You have, you know, dragons with tears coming out of their eyes. Just crazy stuff. Big, just random people on the side of these buildings. Kind of like Times Square a little bit. But overall, I had a great time here. Wish I could have, you know, went to another arcade or two or a club maybe, but we're doing so much. There's only so much you can do in 2 days, right? So off to the final destination, which is Tokyo. So here we go. at a sushi conveyor belt place. We just ended up here. I didn't even know what this place was, but yeah, this is freaking crazy. It's like a video game. This is unreal. Whoa, what in the world? Don't drop the phone now or we're screwed. What the? Shibuya Crossing, the busiest cross section in the entire world. Everybody's going at once. It's a mosh pit waiting to happen. That is crazy.
is like a sensory like descending into like
You're descending into madness.
yeah, really.
Even the floors have lights? This is crazy.
Hello.
Hello guys, thank you so much for rating too. How are you guys doing right now? Are you guys good? Alright, there we go. So,
karaoke. Private. We have a private room here. I found another place in Akihabara, Tokyo, which is basically Micro Center with like 5 other floors of various things. They have a whole floor of computers where I'm at right now. Look at all these laptops. Dude, you would love it here. This place is just crazy. Like, go down this aisle. What do we see? What do we see? Oh, gaming peripherals all over the place. Look at this. Over here, mouse pads or something. We have headphones. They have 97 EXT graphic cards out the wazoo, but they're charging like double MSRP, unfortunately. All the speakers, keyboards. Another place with a whole bunch of chairs. Robots. I want an elevator with a freaking robot.
I am getting out of the elevator. Please let me get through and watch out. Thank you.
What the actual hell? All this food for basically $35. the conveyor belt sushi place, Sushiro. Goodbye, home. So here I am in Tokyo. We made it. This is the Akihabara, aka the Electric Town. This is where all the nerd stuff is. You have all the manga, you have all the anime, all the video games, classic games, a lot of gacha machines, arcades, everything like that. It's like Nerd Haven over here. It really is awesome. But we've been to also Shinjuku, which is a really fun vibe, younger kind of place. That's where the Godzilla is, and there's all these really cool bars that we went to. Bars that are like maybe big enough to fit 10 people in max, and it's very cool little themes, like a bar that's basically like videos and horror movies and different things like that, metal music. Another one was all about Harley Davidson. Another one was all about like death metal and stuff. So there's a lot of cool stuff around there. And we go to Shibuya, where we had the Nintendo store. We did the Samurai Adventure Time. You cannot miss that, because that is just this crazy Japanese epitome of just insanity. People dancing these big stage floats going around, very kind of private room, but it feels very grand. The music is very great there. Went to Disney Tokyo Sea is the best put together theme park I've ever seen, right? So yeah, you're gonna see on all this footage karaoke madness. You're gonna see the great food adventures. We just literally got out of the Sushiro for the second time this week, because it's a conveyor belt sushi place where you can literally just order anything. You get beers coming down the conveyor belt. You got your highballs coming down the conveyor belt, and they have everything from tempura to sushi to just everything in between. Really good food there. But what I will say is, yeah, Tokyo is absolutely awesome. It's this magical place where you have a lot of people in suits and ties going to work. Then they go to pachinko machines and play them. Yeah, you have like all these like little maid cafe things, people promoting all that. It's an interesting experience. I would say only do it once, because it's expensive, and you'll be very surprised what the bill could be going one of those places. So be mindful of that. But all in all, there's so much to say about Tokyo. It's been a little bit of a whiplash, so I might not be completely coherent. But what I will say is, everybody has to go here at least once in their life. Somebody from America feels like a parallel universe where everything feels similar, but it's slightly off, right? The train system, the food, obviously the language, the writing, everything is just a little bit off, and it feels just everything's on a vertical scale. Everything's on a very big scale here in a different way than America is. So that's gonna do it for me here. Signing off, Star Raptor, first time Japan. Hopefully it will not be the last. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks for watching, and may the force be with you always. Have a good one, guys.